Welcome back to Income Trading 101. Today we're going to take a quick look at Netflix, and today is Friday, July 14th. The market just closed, so this is really a view for Monday. And before I get started, if you would, go ahead and hit the like button or subscribe to this channel. I really am trying to grow my subscribers. I really appreciate it when you guys do that. It's free to you, but it means the world to me, so let's dive in. We're going to start off like we always do with some moving averages. It's just actually, no, we're not. We're going to start off by getting a wider look. Sorry to jump the gun a little bit, and I am using TradingView. So the first thing I want to do, I just want to shrink this up to get a sense of where this stock is. Because you never know, are you looking at an all-time high, a low, what just happened, right? So we did have a high back in November of 2021. That was almost 2 years ago. Netflix really fell off during 2022, and it's been on a climb back. And just to get a sense, I'm also looking at where this current price is to see if any of these levels are truly significant. You only see that it was significant back here in May of 2020, when once again Netflix was on an upswing. So it really, I wouldn't expect this to play too much of a resistance area of resistance right now. It looks like we're already kind of breaking through anyway. But let's go ahead and get started with our moving averages. I always put up 3 because a lot of times things really matter. Let's see, moving average. Things matter relative to something else. So if I say, oh, we're above or below the 200-day average, that is a relative statement. We are looking at current price relative to where it has been during that time frame. When I look at relative prices, one against the other, so here the 10-day versus the 20 versus the 60, it gives me even more information to get us a better sense of what's going on with that stock. So let's go ahead and change this to 60-day. I like my 60-day to be the yellow. There we go. Okay, now let's zoom on in. So before we get going, let's point out the fact that there is an earnings date coming up next week. That is huge. That's good information. You can see Netflix has been known to gap. Look, there is a gap here during the, what would this have been? During the Thursday the 19th of January earnings. There was a gap in the October earnings. There was a small gap, but it didn't last long in the last earnings in April. And we'll just see how this goes. Lots of news on Netflix as well. But at the moment, right now, we're going to stick with the moving averages. So right now, we are looking bullish. The 10-day is above the 20, which is above the 60. Let's play with time a little bit. Once again, I mentioned things being relative. So on a monthly basis, I changed this to monthly rather than daily. You see that we just had a crossover of the 10 and the 20. So there's a crossover between the 10-month and the 20-month. But still the 60 is above, and that's because of this huge upswing that it had going into 2021 high. Let's take it to the weekly just to get a better sense. At the weekly level, we have already crossed over. We had a crossover of the 10 and 20 back in May, and we are well above on the weekly basis. You've got the 10 above the 20, above the 60. That is bullish, and I like the fact that price is still higher than the current 10-week numbers. So all very bullish right now. I could take it lower, but you basically want to match up your time frames for the length of your trades. So like a 4-hour chart only matters if you're looking at like weekly, something that you're going to get in for a week. I trade options, so sometimes I'm looking to trade something that's going to expire in the next couple weeks, and so the 4-hour might actually give me more information than even the daily chart. So still in the 4-hour bar, you've got close to convergence, but at the moment the 10 period is still above the 20 and above the 60. All three in line means bullish. I'm betting if I take this lower to maybe a 1 hour, still bullish. Let's see at what point does this thing, how about the 15 minute? Okay, at the 15 minute, so we did see a little bit of down move over the last 3 days. This is important to know because as we move into earnings, this might be significant, right? You had a little crossover between the 60, the 10, and the 20. Right now, at the 15-minute point, it's looking bearish. But like I said, you really want to match up the length of your the duration of your moving averages with the amount of time you're going to use trading or how long you intend to hold the stock. Let's go ahead and use the MACD. Just get a sense of momentum. I think the MACD does a great job with this. It's less of a good job when something has been trending, and this has been trending quite a bit. Okay, so we just looked at the MACD, which was looking bullish. Sorry, I had to reset the chart, but it's less impactful when you have a steady up move. It doesn't give you the best information or viable information for that matter. But what I would like to do is tighten this up and look at a Fibonacci retracement of this last move. You guys know I do like Fibonacci analysis as well. The reason why I like a lot of these different technical indicators is because so many trading systems are built around them that you tend to see people coding their algorithmic trading relative to this. So look at here. We are trading right now at 441.91 is where it ended for the day. We're up about really at 17 cents after market hours on Friday, but that is above our $433.67 50% moving average. We just crossed over. Next stop, if we are to continue going higher, is $496, or really we'll just round it up to 500 because a lot of times there ends up being so many numbers or so many orders at the hold numbers that just the orders, the stock orders in the system almost act like a magnet to those big hold numbers like that. So I actually think this has a lot of possibility, a lot of opportunity to make a jump. If they do have positive earnings, you could see this stock go up to $500 here in the coming weeks. So I like also to analyze earnings. You know, good earnings, you saw a positive movement. Good earnings, you saw a gap, but then it retraced and came on back down. Slowly stayed on a higher angle. Bad earnings seem to lead to steady pricing and then a drop down. So sometimes the earnings, looking at price movement around earnings, can give you an indication of what to expect. So I always want to be aware of that too. But hey, anytime you're trading around a big news event like an earnings, there's only 4 per year, you definitely need to be aware. But I think this stock, given this Fibonacci number, I think it has a strong likelihood, strong possibility of coming back into at least closer to this 500 level, which, look at where we were when we last traded $500. I mean, that was back in 2020, right? So I think Netflix is looking good. It's probably going to return to that. And I stay aware of these retracement numbers. If it does slow grind higher, you can expect it to retest that top at some point. And I think a lot of things are waiting. We're just kind of waiting to see what happens. But this certainly looks bullish. I'm going to do one more thing before getting out of here for this video. And that is we're going to create one of my favorites, which is let's see, let me move this there. I just like creating a channel. It doesn't ever have to be perfect. My goal here is not to get all of the points. I want to get most of the points. just to give me a sense. So even though I drew this here, this stays oddly enough in line. Obviously, price was below the channel back here in May. The month of May and into early June. And then in June, price went back into that channel. But look how many daily prices fell within that channel. We're talking an up move that started in June of 22, right? This is 1 year's worth of an upward channel. That's fantastic for a stock like this. So definitely worth keeping track of. Definitely looking bullish for Netflix. We'll see how their earnings goes that's next week, next Wednesday, July 19th. So keep abreast of that. I'm probably going to look for an option trade on this as well. For those of you who don't know, I also am the host of the weekly option trading podcast. If you want to learn how I use this technical information for trading decisions, head over to my podcast. I'll be recording episode 279 tonight, posting it on Saturday morning. So have a listen and get involved over there too. I love trading stock. I think you can do more with options because it gives you the ability to control more shares of stock for less money. So options, learning options, trading options, it's fantastic for small accounts and even better for big ones. So that's it. Hope you have a great weekend and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.